Hello everyone, welcome to Mahila Samaja digital classes. This is your physics tutor from Mahila Samaja High School. I welcome you all to the 8th standard science sound part 3 presentation. In this presentation, we are going to discuss about the working of or functioning of the ear, human ear, then types of sounds, then the parts of the sound wave and noise, effects of noise and the prevention of noise. Children, first let us know how your ear works. So, before going to know about the functioning of your ear, let us know the parts of the ear. Children, in this pic, you can clearly observe the three parts of the ear. One is the outer ear, middle ear, and inner ear. Children, here the blue colored part of the ear is considered as the outer ear, and this part of that means the brownish part of the ear is considered as the middle ear, and this green part of the ear is considered as the inner ear. The human ear is majorly classified into three parts: outer ear, middle ear, inner ear. Now let us move on to the each part of the ear. Children, this is the distinct diagram of the human ear. Children, as I said, this is the outer ear, this is the inner ear, sorry, middle ear, and this one is the inner ear. Children, outer ear, so see, you can observe this labeling. This is the outer ear, this is the ear canal, and this is the pinna. We'll call this funnel shaped region is called as pinna. This is ear canal, and this one is the eardrum or tympanum. Then this is the middle ear, children. In middle ear, there are three bones. Which are those three bones? Miss? Malleus, incus, and stapes. Malleus, incus, and stapes are the three bones of the middle ear. And this one is the inner ear. Inner ear consists of organs of balance. See, this one is there, no? This region is there, no? This region is the organs of balance. This region consists of organs of balance, which balances our body. Then nerves to the central auditory system and brain. See, this is there, no? Which is called as cochlea, inner ear, and also it is called as cochlea. This cochlea is the consists of nerves to the central auditory system and brain. To the brain and to the central auditory systems, the nerves are connected from this cochlea or the inner ear. And also inner ear consists of organs of balance. And children, this is the eustachian tube. Eustachian tube, which helps in the air balance. Which helps in the air balance. Children, children, now let us know about each part of the ear in detail. Children, first let us know about the outer ear. Outer ear means the caption for outer ear is collecting sounds. The function of outer ear is collecting sounds. Children, the outer ear is made up of the pinna, which is also called as auricle. Here you can observe this pinna. So it is also called as auricle. and the ear canal. See, the outer ear made up of pinna and ear canal. Children, you can observe the ear canal. Glands in the skin lining of the ear canal makes ear wax. See here, in ear canal some glands are present. The skin lining of the ear canal consists of some tiny glands which produces ear wax. Ear wax, which protects the canal by clearing out dirt and helping to prevent the infections. If dirt enters into our ear means this ear wax clears the dirt and prevents the ear infections. I hope you understood about the outer ear, children. Outer ear mainly consists of pinna and ear canal. So its main job is to gather the sounds and funnel them to the ear canal, which is the pathway that leads to the middle ear. Ear canal is the pathway which leads to the middle ear. Glands in the lining of the ear canal makes the ear wax, which protects the canal by clearing out dirt and helping to prevent the infections. Children, now let us know about the middle ear. Middle ear causes the good vibrations. So the caption for middle ear is good vibrations. Children, the middle ear is an air-filled cavity. That means it is filled with the air that turns sound waves into vibrations. That turns sound waves into vibrations and delivers them to the inner ear. This is the main function of the middle ear, children. Once again, see, middle ear is an air-filled cavity. Middle ear is an air-filled cavity that turns sound waves into vibrations. That turns sound waves into vibrations and delivers them to the inner ear. And delivers them to the inner ear. See this. See here, children. You can clearly observe the middle ear. See, this is the middle ear. In middle ear, there are three small bones: malleus, incus, and stapes. So these three bones converts the sound waves into vibrations and delivers them to the inner ear. Here you can observe the inner ear. So this middle ear delivers the vibrations to the inner ear. Children, the middle ear is separated from outer ear by the eardrum. See here, you can observe the eardrum, children, or we can also call it as tympanum. So tympanic membrane or tympanum. See, the middle ear is separated by outer ear with the help of the tympanic membrane, or we can also call it as eardrum. Sound hit the eardrum, making it move. This movement leads to vibrations of three very small bones in the middle ear, known as ossicles. So these vibrations delivers to the inner ear. So let us know about the ossicles, children. See, this one is the malleus. See here, you can observe the malleus. Here it is very clear, children. In this pic, it is very clear. This is the malleus, which is attached to the eardrum. Malleus is attached to the eardrum. The second bone is incus. See here, this is the incus. Here you can observe the incus, children, and here also you can observe the incus here. This is the incus. So incus is also known as anvil. Malleus is also known as hammer. This incus is attached to the malleus. And the third bone is stapes, children. The third bone is pronounced as stapes, which is also called as stirrup, which is attached to the incus, and it is the smallest bone in the body. See, this is the stapes, children. See, observe how it is. Stapes. This is the smallest bone in human body. Which is the smallest bone in our human body means stapes. Where it is present means in ear, particularly in middle ear. It is connected to the, that means it is attached to the incus, another bone called as incus. To hear properly, the pressure on both sides of eardrum must be equal, children. The pressure of air on both sides of the eardrum must be equal. Children, I hope you understood about the middle ear and the function of middle ear. Middle ear is a air-filled cavity which consists of three smallest bones, children. It turns the sound waves into vibrations and it delivers to the inner ear. It delivers that vibrations to the inner ear. The middle ear is separated from the outer ear with the help of a tympanic membrane called as eardrum. Sound hits the eardrum, making it move. This movement leads to the vibration of smallest bones present in the middle ear, which are known as ossicles, and these vibrations are delivered to the inner ear of our ear. Children, the smallest bones, malleus, incus, stapes. Malleus is attached to the eardrum, incus is attached to the malleus, stapes is attached to the incus. These three are attached to one another. And children, see, the smallest bone in human body is stapes. To hear properly, the pressure on both sides of the eardrum must be equal. Now, let us come to the inner ear. Here, see, nerve signals starts here. That means, see, the vibrations delivered from the middle ear converts into nerve signals in the inner ear. So that, children, see, the caption for the inner ear is nerve signals starts here. Nerve signals start here. Children, the vibrations from the middle ear change into nerve signals in the inner ear. The vibrations from the middle ear change into nerve signal in the inner ear. The inner ear includes of cochlea and the semicircular canals. Cochlea and semicircular canals. The snail-shaped cochlea changes the vibration from the middle ear into nerve signals. The snail-shaped cochlea changes the vibrations from the middle ear into nerve signals. These signals travel to the brain along the cochlear nerve, also known as auditory nerve. And in the brain, so the matter get interprets. The matter get interprets, children. See, the vibration from the middle ear changes into nerve signals in the inner ear. Here you can clearly observe the inner ear, children. See, this is the cochlea. This is vestibule, saccule, utricle, displaced otoconia, lateral semicircular canal, posterior semicircular canal, and anterior semicircular canal. See, this is the semicircular canal actually. Semicircular canal is again distinguished into three types. No need about all those things, children. Mainly, so the inner ear is made up of two main parts. One is cochlea, a snail-shaped organ, and a semicircular canal like this. See, the inner ear includes cochlea and semicircular canals. The snail-shaped cochlea changes the vibration from the middle ear into nerve signals. See, the snail-shaped cochlea is there, no? It changes the vibrations from the middle ear into nerve signals. These signals travel to the brain through the cochlear nerve or We can also call it as auditory nerve. So that the inner ear changes the vibrations into nerve signals. Children, in simple, let us gather all the information of the structure and function of the human ear. Children, the outer ear called pinna collects the sound waves. The sound waves passes through the ear canal to the thin membrane of the eardrum. The eardrum vibrates. The vibrations are amplified by the three smallest bones of the middle ear called hammer, anvil and stirrup, or we can also call it as malleus, incus and stapes. The middle ear then transmits that sound wave into inner ear. In inner ear, the sound waves are converted into electrical signals by the cochlea. Then it is sent to the brain through the auditory nerves. The brain then interprets the signals as sound. The brain then interprets the signals as sound. Children, I hope you understood the functioning of the human ear. See, the outer ear collects the sound waves. Then the sound waves passes through the ear canal to the thin membrane called eardrum. The eardrum vibrates. These vibrations are amplified by the three bones of the middle ear. Then the middle ear transmits that sound waves to the inner ear. In the inner ear, the sound waves are converted into electrical signals by the cochlea and sent to the brain through the auditory nerve. So this is the auditory nerve. Through this auditory nerve, the electrical signals are sent to the brain. Then the brain interprets the signals as sounds. I hope you understood the function of the human ear, children. Children, this is the schematic representation of the sound wave. See, the maximum displacement of the maximum displacement of the sound wave is represented like this, and this one is considered as the crest, and the minimum displacement of the sound wave, the negative displacement, so this one is considered as the positive displacement or maximum displacement, and this one is considered as the negative displacement of the particles of the medium where the sound travels. So this the maximum displacement of the sound wave, maximum positive displacement of the sound wave is considered as the crest. Children, here you can observe, see, the maximum positive displacement of the sound wave is considered as the crest, and the maximum negative displacement of the sound wave is considered as trough. Children, here this is the crest, this one is trough, and this one is trough. Children, the distance between two consecutive crests, consecutive means adjacent crests. In maths also you came across the word consecutive. Consecutive means pakka pakkadalliruva, adjacent. See, the distance between the two consecutive crests or two consecutive troughs is called as wavelength. The distance between two consecutive crests or two consecutive troughs is called as wavelength. Children, a crest and a trough. Children, see, a crest and a trough together forms a sound wave. A crest means only one crest means it is the half sound wave. Only one trough means it is the half sound wave. So a crest and a trough together forms a sound wave. Children, See, number of sound waves produced in 1 second. Number of sound waves produced in 1 second is called its frequency. Is called its frequency of the sound wave. Is called the frequency of the sound wave. Number of waves produced in 1 second is called the frequency of the sound wave, children. Children, as I said, wavelength is the distance between the two consecutive crests or two consecutive troughs. A crest and a trough composes the sound wave. A sound wave is composed of a crest and a trough. Children, number of sound waves produced in 1 second is called or is considered as frequency of that sound wave. If 20 waves are produced in 1 second means then 20 hertz is the frequency of that sound wave. If 100 sound waves are produced, 100 hertz is the frequency of that sound wave. Frequency of the sound wave means it is the number of waves produced in 1 second. I hope you understood this, children. Children, the SI unit used to measure the wavelength is meter. SI unit used to measure the frequency is hertz. Then children, let us come to the another word, amplitude. Children, what is amplitude means? In simple, we can say amplitude means it is the height of the sound wave. See, the maximum displacement of the particle is considered as amplitude, or we can also, in simple, we can say it as amplitude is the height of the sound wave. Amplitude represents the height of the sound wave, and meter is the SI unit for amplitude of the sound wave. Children, these points, see here, this point is considered as node. See, this point is also considered as node. That means, see, this point is also considered as node. And see, these points, the maximum displacement points are there, no? Those are considered as the antinodes. The minimum displacement points, that means where the displacement is zero, where the displacement of the particle is zero, those points are considered as nodes, and the maximum displacement of the points, maximum displacement of the particles is considered as antinodes. The point at which the maximum displacement of the particle took place is considered as the antinode. So these are nodes and these are the antinodes. Children, I hope you understood about nodes, antinodes, crests, troughs, wavelength, frequency and amplitude. These are the components of the sound wave. Children, once again, crest means maximum positive displacement of the particle of medium. Trough means maximum negative displacement of the particle of the medium. A crest and a trough together forms a sound wave. The distance between two consecutive crests or two consecutive troughs is considered as wavelength. Wavelength is measured in terms of meters. What is frequency means the number of sound waves produced in 1 second. Then the SI unit used to measure the frequency is hertz. Amplitude means height of the sound wave. Now let us come to the types of sounds, children. One is pleasant sound, another one is unpleasant sound. Sounds are mainly classified into pleasant sounds and unpleasant sounds. Let us define the pleasant sounds. Pleasant sounds can be defined as the sound which is feel happy. If we hear that sound, we should feel happy, which must please our ears. So the example for pleasant sounds are sound of a river flowing, waterfall sound, sound of birds like cuckoo, etc. are the pleasant sounds. Children, pleasant sounds can be defined as the sound which is feel happy, which makes us feel happy. Then unpleasant sound means the sound which irritates us and can cause headache. Unpleasant sound means the sound which irritates us and which cause headache are called as unpleasant sounds. Example of unpleasant sound can be the sound of constructions of sites, horn of train and other vehicles, rock music, etc. are the examples for unpleasant sounds. Children, pleasant sounds helps us to be calm, but unpleasant sounds causes some effects on human health. So, first let us know about the unpleasant sound and another form of unpleasant sound. See children, the other form of unpleasant sound is noise. Children, the word noise comes from the Latin word noxia. Noxia means injury or hurt. ಗಾಯ ಅಥವಾ ನೋವು ತಗಲಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಗಾಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬಹುದು. Noise is an unwanted, ಬೇಡದೇ ಇರುವಂತಹ, unpleasant, irritating and annoying sound caused by vibration of matter. Children, you can know the definition for noise. Noise is an unwanted, unpleasant and annoying sound caused by vibration of the matter. Vibrations impinge on the eardrum of a human or animal and set up a nerve disturbance. Vibrations impinge on the eardrum of a human or animal. It may be on human ear or may be on animal ear. Vibrations which are exposed on the eardrum of human or animals set up a nerve disturbance, which we call sound. When the effect of sound is undesirable, that means which is unwanted, then it may be termed as noise. So that we can define the noise as unwanted, unpleasant and annoying sound caused by the vibration of the matter. Children, now let us know some of the common sources of noise pollution. Now let us know about some of the sources of the noise pollution. Children, see, aeroplanes and airports, traffic and mass transit, construction and industrial activities, lawn and garden equipments, amplified or piped in music, emergency vehicles, and the horns of siren or horns of the emergency vehicles are the common sources of noise pollution. You know, airplanes and airports. Airplanes, how much noise it makes, you know, no children. Airplanes and airports, traffic and mass transit. That means if traffic jam happened, means so many vehicles gather together, so which causes the noise pollution. Amplified or piped in music. That means the music at a very high pitch. Then construction and industrial activity also causes noise pollution. Emergency vehicles and siren or horn sounds of the emergency vehicles are the noise, that means source of noise pollution. Lawn and garden equipments like garden cutters, that means some plant cutters are there, no? Those are all, that means some equipments used for the gardening purpose are also causes the noise pollution. Children, let us know what are the effects of noise pollution. Irritation, nervousness, increased stress, sleep disturbance, increased blood pressure. Then sometimes The heart related problems also caused due to the noise pollution. Irritation, ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ ಇರಿಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನರ್ವಸ್ನೆಸ್, ಸುಸ್ತಾಗೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಲೀಪ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬೆನ್ಸ್, increased blood pressure. These are all the effects of noise pollution. How can we prevent the noise pollution? Means planting bushes and trees in and around sound generating sources. Planting bushes and trees in and around the sound generating sources. That means if one factory is there, means that so much of sound is coming out, means planting the bushes and trees are the best remedy to avoid the noise pollution. Regular servicing and turning off automobiles. Regular servicing and turning off automobiles. Automobiles na ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸೋದು, ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವುಗಳ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Buildings can be designed with suitable noise absorbing materials for the walls, windows and ceilings. It is not comes to the urban areas, children. It is mainly for the city areas like Bangalore, big cities are there, no? In those cities, buildings can be designed with suitable noise absorbing materials for the walls, windows and ceilings. Then workers should be prevented with equipments such as earplugs and ear muffs. Workers, children, who works with the machineries which makes more noise, for them the company should provide the equipment such as earplugs and ear muffs. Then soundproof doors and windows also can prevent the noise pollution. Regulation sound be imposed to restrict. Regulations should be imposed to restrict the noise pollution. Then factories and industries should be located far from the residential areas. It's true, children. Factories and industries should be located far from the residential areas. Community development or urban management is one of the remedy to prevent the noise pollution, as well as social awareness programs about the noise pollution. That means to create the awareness among the society about the noise pollution is one of the best remedy to avoid the noise pollution. Children, I hope you understood how to prevent the noise pollution, children. So this is about your chapter sound, and this is the end of this chapter. Children, I hope you understood this chapter, and I will send the notes through the WhatsApp. Thank you, children. Thank you, one and all.